we got our last 12 o'clock game with an unranked matchup. We're not going to see a lot of those this week, or see some, but there's not a whole bunch. Illinois, which is 3-1, did not think they were going to be playoff eligible longer than Wisconsin was, which is 2-2. Chance to knock Illinois out of playoff eligibility, but let's be honest, I don't think Illinois fans are really dreaming that high yet, but Illinois, technically speaking, is still playoff eligible with a 3-1 record, and if they go undefeated the rest of the way and win the Big Ten, it'd be a playoff team. Like, I know everyone hates them. Like, do you really think Illinois is a playoff team? No, I don't think Illinois is a playoff team. But you're telling me if they don't lose the rest of their games and they win the Big Ten championship, they're not at least being considered? Of course they are. But they're traveling to Wisconsin. Obviously, Wisconsin favorite 7 on the Big Ten Network. Tommy DeVito for Illinois has gone 89 and 129, thrown for 954 yards, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Chase Brown on the ground has had 95 carries for 604 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Pat Bryant through the air has had 14 catches for 262 yards and 2 touchdowns. Graham Mertz for Wisconsin has gone 55-82, thrown for 791 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and is a 67.1% completion percentage. Skylar Bell, Skylar I hardly know her, has had 12 catches for 201 yards and 2 touchdowns. Wisconsin leads the series all time, 44-38. Last 2 games have gone to Wisconsin in 2020 and 2021. Last Illinois victory obviously was in 2019 in the big upset. Wisconsin has won 11 of the last 12, though, and the last victory that Illinois has at Wisconsin is in 2002. So it's been a while since they've beaten the Badgers on the road. And I think what's going to be really interesting is Wisconsin is coming off a hard loss, right? They were absolutely just got their asses kicked against Ohio State. Just absolutely humbled against an Ohio State team that looks like it's probably a playoff team this year. Chance at a national championship for sure. It just looks like a great football team. And I feel like it's going to be actually really interesting. Like, Wisconsin has lost 2 football games, but they were to not awful football teams. Obviously, Ohio State's great. I would say Washington State's actually pretty good, despite their loss to Oregon last week. Honestly, should have probably had that game. Just crumbled down the stretch. But Wisconsin is a really solid football team. They're going to be at home. And we've yet to see Illinois really beat anyone of high caliber. They destroyed Virginia, but Virginia looks rather lackluster to start the year, coming off a loss last week to Syracuse, but also barely beat Old Dominion the week before that. Illinois is also coming off a bye, right? And that's going to be huge. They've had an entire bye week to prepare for the Wisconsin team. Wisconsin's coming off an absolute heartbreaker against Ohio State. I think Illinois is very well prepared, but I think Wisconsin's going to need this one, right? You can't drop back-to-back games if you're Wisconsin, especially one of those being to rival Illinois. Give me Wisconsin to win this one, but Illinois to cover the 7-point spread. I think it's a very close game throughout.